So let's go to the DB browser SQLite. So what we are going to work on multiple, how to do query in more than 2 tables, combining more than 2 tables. For that, first we're going to create 3 tables now. Student table with which has name, email, and the student ID. And we're going to create a course table which is going to have course ID and title. And then we're going to create member table, which is going to combine this course and student, that is how that particular person is related to the course, whether it's instructor or student. Okay, that is member table. So first let's create a database for this. I'm creating a new database and name that database as course. You can just name anything that you want. Just remember what you have named. Instead of creating the table by using the GUI facility, I want to do that coding through coding. So I'm just going to create table. You please type it. Let me explain the code. Create table, okay, and then student. Create table, student table that we are creating. So create table student. It should not have a this double quotation should not be that. Student and name is one column. Email is another column. Both of them are text data type. And ID is the third column, the student ID, which is integer data type, which should not be null, and which is going to be the primary key for the table. I have explained what is primary key, what is foreign key. Primary key is unique identifier for each row. If there is a student, the ID, no 2 students can share the same ID. So the column which has the unique value for each row is called the primary key column. Okay. And then auto increment, if you want to go with like 1, 2, 3, when you add new student, if you want that roll number or student ID is getting implemented, you can use the auto increment. And unique or not, that means obviously the primary key should be unique for each student. Okay, so either you can give this keywords in your code, or if you're using the GUI to create the table, you can simply use the GUI where you can just click primary key, unique, auto increment, not null, all those stuff, and select the data type. That will do the job for you. Okay, here, whenever we do the cut, copy, paste, always, wherever it says error, just type it. For some reason, the DB browser tool doesn't recognize some characters in copying, pasting. Okay, so you can go for the GUI for the table creations, up to you. And next, I'm going to create the course table. Okay, so please type it. The next table that we are going to create is course. You can type it or use GUI. The table name is course, which is going to have 2 columns. One column is ID, that is the course ID, and the another column is title of the course. Okay, so the ID is going to be an integer and not null, because it's not be null. There is a course, that should be course ID. Even the title can be null, but the ID is going to be the primary key. We are going to set it as a primary key. So it should not be null. Mostly all primary keys should not be null and unique. And here also auto increment, it's up to us whether we can give, or if you want to, for example, in the real course, it is not auto increment. Each course will have this separate name, but this is just scenario that we are taking. So I'm just giving auto increment. Title, text, and it can be unique, even though it is not a primary key. Titles are unique, but we cannot say name is unique. The student name cannot be unique because 2 students can say the same name. So I have an issue in here. So just give the unique. Okay, so I have created the course table. Next table that I'm going to create is member table. Okay, the member table. Please type it. Create table member. Member is the table name, and it has 3 columns. The user ID, that is the student who is the student or faculty who is member of that group is one column, and the course, who is taking which course, the course ID is the second column, and role is going to be the third column. The role is the primary key here because it speaks about the membership. And here you can just set text and say faculty and student. But here we are saying it is integer in the sense that we are going to decode it like 0, 1 means student, 2 means faculty, or anything. We can do decode it in any way. And primary key we are passing, and the primary key is going to be two primary keys like user ID and course ID. Okay, so with this, I'm just creating, and where it shows error, near member. Okay, so I have created the third table. Now we are going to insert values into the table. Okay, so you can just, there is a GUI that that you can insert the table values, or I will give you time. We may have already done this insert into in our previous example. You can just copy and paste it from there, or you can simply type it from here. Okay, so we are just adding 6 students here. John, Colin, Ted, Sally, Ted. We did it in our first exercise. We did it. You can just take the code. If you have the code, you can just copy and paste it here. I'm just executing it, and it went through without any error. I will give you some time to type it. Okay, so now we are going to, you see the table that we have created by using that select star from the table name, executed, and you will see the table that you have created. So next we are going to create the course table. So for the course table, I'm just adding the command, and we'll explain the command. That how to insert into the table name, that is course, and this has only one value, that is title. Course ID, since we have said it is auto increment, automatically it will set 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if you see the select star command, then you can see automatically the course ID will get inserted in the ID column. You can check it. Can we check our table? Just give select star from course. So if you see this, then it is good. And then we're going to insert values to the fourth table, that is member table, which has more data. If you have, I have uploaded this file, Python Learn Database handout file. In that file, it has it. You can copy it because I just took the data from that for the last concept. You can simply copy this from this Python 15 database handout and just copy and paste. If you don't want to type it, it should work. Okay, so this one gives the user ID. The user ID means the student ID, and the course ID means how many courses. You can see that in this, we have only 3 courses here. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. That means only 3 courses are that, and 3 students are that. And you can see only by, it's like binary data. 1 means faculty, 0 means student, 0, 0, 0. So 3 faculty and 4 students. Okay, so let's execute this. Oh, we have already executed it. Okay, now let's see what are the values of that. Member. You can see user ID, course ID, role, everything is there. How many of you got it done? Okay, now we are going to do multiple table query. So for that, the query that we are going to new SQL query. So how we are going to do, like we are going to retrieve the name of the student and what is the role name, the student name and role and the course what he is enrolled in. We are going to select these three things, which is member is there in the member table, right? So course also is in the course table. The student name is the student table. So we are going to combine the information from all these tables. So how to do that? First, let's do select and the student dot name member role. From the member table, we are going to do role. And from course table, we are going to get the title of the course. Okay, so from each table, we are getting each column. And then how we are doing the joining, we are going to join all these three tables from student join. I will stick to the thumb rule of all keywords should be uppercase. And the member table, student table joining member table. And guess what? This is the thing that you have to learn in this exercise. You can do join and just give the course table as well. That is possible. You can do multiple joining here. And where we want to join, what is the thing that makes it common in all tables? So first thing, member. We have user ID thing that we can keep, and that user ID should be equal to the student ID. Student table, the student table, there is an ID, so it should match with that. And in member table, that is course ID, and the course ID should match with the course ID of what? Member table. Sorry, a course table ID. Sorry. Course table ID. So that is course table and then ID. So because course ID is that in the member table, and that is, we have saved it as an ID column in course table. That's what we are matching. And user ID is there as a separate column in member table that we are matching with the ID column of the student table. Get it? So if you execute it, it shows some error. What is that? Yeah. Okay, let's go. After fixing it, it works. We have the first column as name and the second column as the role and the third column as the courses that they have taken. Maybe we can take that ID can be the 0 is student and 1 could be the tutor, student tutor. Okay, whatever we want to take, you can just take it in that way. So the student name and the role of the student, with the student or tutor and the course that they have taken. So this is how you can join multiple tables. So for this multiple table practice, you have to submit the screenshot of the student table, screenshot of the course table, and screenshot of the member table. And then this screenshot, just take a screenshot and submit it. Yes, this screenshot, the query screenshot.